Hello everybody out there in the Frontline universe, I'm Chris and welcome back to another comic book review. It's a new week, which means new DC Rebirth books. And in this review, I'm going to be reviewing the Nightwing Rebirth one-shot. That's right guys, Nightwing is finally officially back. This is the book I've been hoping, praying, and literally keeping my fingers crossed for ever since Dick was outed during Forever Evil by the Crime Syndicate and the Grayson saga began, where Dick basically became a double agent, basically working for Spiral as Agent 37, but really working for Batman on the side to get all the information about Spiral and basically take them down. So anyway, as I'm showing you guys the artwork for this book, I do want to put out the disclaimer, spoiler alert, because we can't talk about this book. We can't really get deep into this book and why I liked it so much or didn't like it so much. Let's find out. Most likely I liked it. If you guys see, I'm very excited that Nightwing's back. Without giving some spoilers away. So again, I'm warning you guys, spoilers. If you didn't read the Nightwing DC Rebirth one-shot, take this video, pause it, put it in your watch later list, and come back after you've read the DC Rebirth one-shot for Nightwing, and let's see if we agree or disagree on certain things. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. But for those of you that like that non-spoiler review, that want to figure out if you want this book or not, this is, in my opinion, a perfect transition book. This is Dick going from Agent 37 of Spiral, the Grayson saga, and transitioning himself back into Nightwing. We have guests from Helena. We have a guest from Tiger, Midnighter, all three characters part of the Grayson saga. Obviously, we have Damian. We have also references to stuff that happened with Dick during the Robin Wars with the Court of Owls. We've got we have a history they added in with Nightwing, which I really like that they're starting to throw history, and that's what Rebirth is all about, bringing the history back to the DC Universe. So I like that they actually opened the book up with actually a little bit of history, where Dick talking a little bit about the history of Nightwing and his character, and I don't want to spoil what exactly, but basically the origin of his name, and we'll leave it at that for now. And basically we see him going from a secret spy agent and basically agreeing with what all of us have been saying from day one, that Dick is not a spy. That's not his character. And him transitioning back into Nightwing and what his mission is going to be as Nightwing. I love the artwork. I think the story has a lot of promise to it. It's so good to see Dick back as Nightwing. And not only that, but he's back in the classic black and blue costume, which I really like a lot as well. So with this one shot, I feel like we got the perfect transition from Agent 37 back to Nightwing, and I'm really excited to see the official first issue for Nightwing, which should be coming out, I believe, this month as well. Yes, it is. And I'm really excited to see Nightwing issue number 1. This was a great first issue. If you've been reading Grayson, this is a perfect transition into Nightwing. If you haven't been reading Grayson, I've been casually reading it, but honestly not, in-depthly reading Grayson. This is a perfect jumping on point back into Nightwing. Obviously the transition, you're not going to know certain characters from Spiral. You do have to have some prior knowledge to what's going on with Grayson, but I'm sure that if you go on the DCComics.com website, they'll give you a briefie on Nightwing's or Dick's background as Agent 37 and his transition back into becoming Nightwing. Excellent book. 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing Nightwing. I enjoyed the back and forth with Dick and Damian, the back and forth with Dick and Batman, and those nice flashbacks that they threw in with Dick leaving Spiral. And also there is a really awesome part with Link and March, which I think everybody would be very interested in. And an interesting twist of fate with the Court of Owls, or twist with the Court of Owls is in this book. Again, if you want to know all about that, check out the issue number 1. From this point on, spoilers are rampant. So remember, if you haven't read the Rebirth one-shot, please pause this video, come back later, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, here we go. The book opens up with Dick talking about his name, Nightwing, where it originated from. That a lot of people think that it originates from Batman, that it's somehow a rendition of him taking flight away from, leaving Batman and, the Dark Knight, and then he just added that he got his wings from Batman, so Nightwing, and it's like, no, actually, it comes from Superman. And he told me about legendary, basically Superman told Dick a long time ago when he was Robin about these legendary superheroes, Nightwing and Flamebird. And when Dick wanted to go off on his own, he actually asked Superman for permission to use the Nightwing name. And, of course, Superman was honored and said, absolutely. So Dick became Nightwing. But then, of course, all the hell happened, and he became, Agent 37, Agent of Spiral. So we see a brief page of him explaining the history of his name, and he's fighting the Madmen. Then we jump to present day, which is him and Damian just spending some quality time together, now that Dick's back in Gotham, playing the arcades. And at first it looks just like him, getting back together with Damian, them having a little bit of a reunion and stuff. And then Damian's like, you're having girl problems, aren't you? And that's where Helena gets mentioned, and he talks a little bit about her. And then we get the first flashback, which is him leaving and wanting to say goodbye to Helena first. Unfortunately, Helena doesn't want to see him, but we get a little hint towards Huntress, because there's actually a reference to her in the Huntress getup to Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, which is coming soon as well. I'm looking forward to that, and I really am digging the way Helena looks as Huntress. I'm really excited to see that book when it comes out. However, we jump back now to Damian and Dick, and they're talking about, now they're talking more about the Spiral, and worrying that they're going to come back, and worried that somehow they're going to find Dick and they're going to cause a problem. That's when we jump back to Tiger, who basically, it's him and Tiger fighting together and training, and basically it's his goodbye to Tiger. Let's put it that way. If you want to know more in depth than that, read this issue. It's really, really good, like I said. We then go to Wayne Manor, which Dick has a wonderful, I never forget how good it is to see this old place and to come home, which is really nice. It shows that Dick really, truly feels at home at Wayne Manor, which is where he was, for many years as Robin before he left as Nightwing. And then he pulls out a contraption because Damian starts talking about Midnighter then, and then we get a flashback with Midnighter. All of these characters played a huge role in the Grayson saga, which was the saga, or the series that just ended. And of course we get a flashback with Grayson and Midnighter. Midnighter gives him a machine, or a machine that he's looking for, and we find out what the machine is for, and we find out that he wasn't just trying to spend quality time with Damian. He basically was buttering him up because the Parliament of Owls, or the Court of Owls, basically stuck a what's the word I'm looking for? A device, what was it exactly called? A bomb inside of Damian's body, and basically Dick is using the device to take the explosives out of Damian's body, so they can't use Damian as a tool against Dick. So Dick ends up extracting the explosives. Batman shows up, and Damian's kind of, I love the comedy with Damian, because he's like, wait, you knew and Dick knew and I didn't? This is wrong. This is what's the word? This is an outrage. And Dick apologizes for, having to join the Court of Owls to protect Damian, and he's like, you're finally back, Dick. We have you back again. There's no reason, there's no one that you don't need to apologize. There's only one man responsible for it, and that's Lincoln March. And then we get current day Lincoln March, and we get to see a change in the Court of Owls. They basically destroy their white masks and go into a black mask, representing them being now hidden in the shadows, which I think is really cool. But then something happens. Lincoln March gets shot. And apparently the Court of Owls wasn't here because Lincoln March called them. They were there basically to witness the end, or to get rid of Lincoln March, and to finally go into a different direction, a direction where Lincoln March wouldn't screw things up. And that basically is a clean path to Nightwing. So I think that's really cool, and obviously the Court's going to be playing a huge role in Nightwing's stories for a while. We then go back to the Batcave, where Dick and Batman have their heart-to-heart talk, and Batman's like, you just got your secret identity back. You barely had a chance to be Dick Grayson again. Are you really ready to take on this next mission? And he's like, I've been the Flying Graysons, I've been Robin, I've been Nightwing, I've been Agent 37. All of them had one thing in common. They were all Dick Grayson. And then he basically runs down the list again, and he says, this isn't a job for Agent 37. This isn't a job for Dick Grayson. This isn't a job for Robin. The Court of the Owls didn't try to take those names. They only tried to take one. And he's going to take them down with the one name the Court of Owls tried to steal from him, Nightwing. And we get a nice final splash page of Dick in his Nightwing getup again. So we saw the transition from the very beginning, him leaving the agency as Agent 37, and the transition back into Nightwing. And it was a smooth, gorgeous transition. I loved it. It was a really fun read. I will say that I left out a lot of dialogue on purpose, because if you don't read the dialogue yourself, you won't get the feelings that you get. There is a special relationship between Damian and Dick. Damian feels like a younger brother to Dick, and the back and forth with them is really great. Bruce is like a father to Dick, and you get that feeling in their conversation where Bruce is kind of in a way saying, be Dick for a while before you go back into this. And Dick's like, no, I know what I have to do, and I know I have to do it as Nightwing, and Nightwing needs to come back. I know I've got my secret identity back, but that's great because now I could be Nightwing again, and the world doesn't know that Dick Grayson is Nightwing. And I really enjoyed that. I like that aspect. I like the morphing, or the change with the Court of Owls, and what will that play not only in Nightwing's book but in the Batman books in general. What is that going to mean for Batman in the future? And now Lincoln March is no longer leading the court, so what does that mean, and who's the person that assassinated him? I'm really excited. And obviously Nightwing is not a Gotham solo. As Dick said, he is a person that's on the road. So Nightwing will be mobile, just like Agent 37. He will be all over the place. I'm hoping at some point we get Nightwing back in Bullhaven, though, because that was a huge factor with Nightwing back when the Nightwing series was around. I really would love to pick up the old volume of Nightwing, and I might actually start picking up the trades for Nightwing to really get a full idea of, Nightwing joining, going to Bullhaven and everything. But as far as one-shots go, I think this delivered a perfect transition from Dick's previous series, which is Grayson, and brings him back into the fold as Nightwing with a classic costume, a new purpose, and a new purpose and mission, and just a refreshed feeling. So basically they undid the whole Dick Grayson was outed, and they fixed it in a way where we got Nightwing back finally, and I'm really happy with that. This book gets a 4.5 out of 5 stars because it was fun. It was a smooth transition. I really enjoyed it a lot. It's so great to have Nightwing back, and I cannot wait for issue number 1 now. Obviously, I think the artwork is different. I saw a couple of preview pages. It's going to take a little getting used to with that art, but that's another review for another time. This one-shot was amazing. I loved it, and I would definitely say if you haven't read it, which I don't know why you sat through all the spoilers, but I left out a bunch of stuff, on purpose. So even if you did watch this video, there's a whole chunk of really good dialogue with Dick, with Damian, with Bruce that you definitely want to read, especially if you're a Nightwing fan or if you really want to get into Nightwing. Now is the perfect time. However, I will say, as far as jumping on point, this was more of a transition book. It transitioned him out of Agent 37. If you did not read Grayson or have no idea about Grayson, like I said, you could check out on DCComics.com if there's like a bit of a recap of what Dick's gone through as Agent 37, or you can Wikipedia it. I'm sure Wikipedia, Wikipedia literally has everything nowadays. You can get the backstory on it, because this is definitely, if you don't know anything about what happened with Grayson, you're going to be a bit lost with Tiger. You're not going to know who Midnighter truly, what he meant to the Grayson series, and you're going to be a little confused with Helena as well. So again, I would recommend, if you haven't looked back at all, find something somewhere, whether it be DC Comics or not, and get a little bit of the backstory with Grayson, because this is not like, oh, you've been away, great, well, here we go. I would say a perfect jumping on point for you guys would be the official first issue, because this was a transition out. So now we're back to Nightwing, so now we can go into Nightwing a bit. But then again, you could always jump into these one-shots. The one-shots are not super expensive, and you get at least an idea of where the Nightwing series is going. So either way, it's up to you guys, but I would definitely recommend it. I loved it. Hooray. Thank you, Lord. It only took a couple of years. Nightwing is finally back. And with that, that's it for this review, guys. Feel free to let me know in the comments below what you thought of Nightwing's return to the DC Universe. Not the return, as in Dick's always been part of the DC Universe. The return of his persona as Nightwing, his alter ego as Nightwing, which I really am happy to have Nightwing back. I'm really excited for the first issue. What did you think of this one-shot? Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? Was it a good transition from Grayson back to Nightwing? I know I'm happy. I can't wait to read Grayson, and I definitely cannot wait to read the next issue of Titans as well, which Dick is a part of. Till next time, everybody, Comic Frontline, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please do. This way we're in your sub box. We post videos daily, and you do not want to miss out on a single one. And if you sub to us, we'll be in your subscription box, and you will not miss out on a single video. And also, while you're there, all of our individual channels are on the main channel page. If you're interested in any of our individual work, go check it out there. And if you haven't checked out comicfrontline.com, go check that out. We've got articles going up on there, previews, reviews, discussions, breaking news go up on there almost daily, if not daily. So till next time, take care, everybody. Keep reading, keep collecting, and I'll see you guys really soon in the next video.